Welcome, horror fam, to HHN 365, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Duff, Jess, and Jonathan. How's it going, guys?
Hey, it happened again.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
God. Took forever.
On today's show, we will be discussing the long-awaited announcements of Stranger Things Season 4 coming to both coasts. But before we get to that, as always, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at HHN365, and we have a TikTok at HHN365pod. We have a Discord, a link is in the description. Come and join us and interact with us. And we have a merch shop that always keep your eye on at HHN365.com. And you can always leave us a voicemail at 407-906-4134. We have a lot of housekeeping. Well, not a lot. We have a little bit of housekeeping, some news, and then we can hop right into our main segment.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Let's do it. So thank you so much for the reviews. I asked for reviews at the end of the show, and we got some. But we have been recently been getting a little bit of feedback about our audio quality, and it's So I guess I'm asking. It's been a kind of generic feedback that is not so great. So, but which is helpful to an extent, but I think we would like to have a little bit more detail on how we can fix our audio. So if you are experiencing, when you listen to the show, bad sound quality, or it's no, not great for you to listen to, go ahead and write down what person you're experiencing it from, what episode you're experiencing it. Is it an older show that you went back and listened to? Because if you're going to go back to listen to the early ones, I'm going to warn you, the sound quality is not great. But if it's a recent show that you have heard and there's bad sound quality, we're confused by some of this feedback, because when we listen to it, it sounds okay on our end. Right, guys?
Yeah, and I think we know we don't have the best audio quality in the world. We just are wondering where it's like atrocious. We're not saying you're wrong. Yeah. We just want to pinpoint whether it's a specific episode, a specific person, specific segment, something like that. Like where and exactly what is it, so we can pinpoint it and work on it. Again, we know our audio quality isn't the greatest there is. We do have plans to actually completely overhaul our system for recording. So one day,
we're
hopefully pretty soon.
On it.
Yeah, but for now, before we have all that fancy, nice equipment we want, how can we pinpoint it? What do we do? Just tell us exactly where you're hearing the issues. Yeah, that's all.
So go ahead and let us know if you have some time to. We'd appreciate it.
I also
DMs,
recommend
emails. Thanks.
Like for DMs
Voicemails.
And emails, I recommend probably not using Twitter right now, because right now there's been a feature that's been going on where Twitter automatically sets our settings to saying only people who are verified can DM us, even though we keep changing it back to everyone. It keeps switching it back. So there's a chance that if you try to DM us on Twitter and it doesn't go through, it says, "Hey, you need to be verified." That's not us doing that. That's Twitter. So if that happens, just reach out to us on other platforms. Twitter's being really weird right now.
He's lying. We only care about you if you're verified. You're nobody if you're not. We're not verified, by the way.
Spotify has a really cool thing where it literally says on that show, it says, "What did you think of this show?" And you can actually send exact feedback. And a lot of people of you have, and we really appreciate that. So that would be a good way to do it. So if you hear something on Spotify and you're like, "Oh, that didn't sound great," write down the timestamp of where you heard it and whose voice you heard it come from.
If the whole episode's bad, just say that too.
Say that too.
Just tell us what it sounds like what the issue, like why does it sound bad, and we're gonna do everything we can to fix it until we invest a lot of money into upgrading our recording equipment and situation, probably. So but in the meantime, we do want it to be good. So
definitely.
All right, should we get into the fun stuff?
Oh yeah.
All right. You already know, Stranger Things Season 4 has been announced for both Orlando and Hollywood's HHN. I think it's kind of split a little bit, right? Kind of first, just looking at like people commenting, it's kind of surprising how many people are kind of down on it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that probably has to do with what we saw last time it was here, especially if you're in Hollywood, right? But I definitely expected a little more just pure excitement, and that's not really what we're getting.
I don't feel bad for any Hollywood people not being excited for this because, like, not having been there after having watched the 2 and 3 POV of their coast, it was not good at all. And even watching their season 1 house, it looked okay, but it definitely wasn't anything near the quality of Orlando's.
It was not.
Oh yeah, you saw that one in person, right?
I did, yes. It was fine. Like it was a solid house, but yeah, no, it wasn't, because like in Orlando, at least we've had like one that was like, it's probably top 3 of the year for most, right? And then we had the dud, which even then there were plenty of people who did like. Hollywood kind of had a fine one, and then one that's just like slandered by everyone who ever experienced it.
Yeah, so not good for Hollywood, but maybe this year they'll finally prove themselves and say, hey, we can make not only just a okay Stranger Things, we can make a like unbelievable Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. Hopefully. I'd be having too high hopes, but we'll see.
Way too high. But before we get into like the full our full thoughts on it, which we'll do a little bit later, let's talk about what came with this announcement, what came before this announcement, as it always does, and that is going to be multi-night tickets being released for Orlando, as they were already out in Hollywood. As always, the day it releases is typically with the announcement of an IP, and they are out at like 5 a.m. instead of waiting for the announcement, as they were. So we got our Frequent Fears, our Rush of Fears, Scream Early, all that fun stuff's available now at a very expensive price point. I will say it's still really good value. Like all of them are still really good value. If you break it down by night and then what you're getting out of it, like it's an amazing steal. But there were a lot of huge increases across the board. Like for us, I know we all do Frequent Fear Plus with Express. That was a clean $100 increase in price. Rush of Fear got the biggest increase because last year it actually didn't have one, so that took a huge jump. Scream Early's at $40 now.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting pricier, but we expected it to, and to be honest, it's going to be a lot worse one day. So cherish these prices while they're here.
My wallet certainly didn't cherish these prices.
I still haven't bought mine, but it'll be there in a couple weeks when I can afford it.
Oh, should we talk about the weird thing that's come with these multi-night tickets wasn't here in the past?
Yep.
That you have to pick your starting date, either your starting date or like you don't have to go that day, but you can't go before the day you pick. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think that means? Like, why is that even a feature?
It's for data. It's got to be for numbers for in the future something. Like, there's no way.
I think it's even more than that. Like,
really?
I think it's because if you remember, me and Mike discussed this. I think separately, but like if you go back to last year, there was multiple times where they just shut down Frequent Fear sales because it was during a sellout. So they didn't want you to buy it and kind of skip around the sellout. So I think by picking your date, it gives you the calendar, obviously. If the opening weekend sells out and you haven't bought your Frequent Fear yet, it's just not going to let you start on opening weekend. You're going to have to pick a date after
that. Don't let me panic now as I go to buy it with the money I don't have.
I mean, you have some time. I'm just saying.
I know.
But like a week before the event, when opening night sells out, instead of having to remove the sales online, they're simply just going to take that day off. Yeah. And you won't be able to go.
Yeah, the last 2 years that has been an issue, and there was also the loophole where you could just call the call center because they couldn't remove it from the call center people because they didn't, but they could remove it from the website. So you could always just call. So this also closes that loophole because they're just going to block it across the board, probably for the call center people as well, where you cannot select that day. It'll just be a sold out day where you cannot start your ticket on that day. It's the Hollywood annual passes has a similar system where you can't start. You have to pick a start day for your annual pass, and you can't select a day that's like sold out or whatever. So it's a system that they've kind of already could just adapt over to this HHN pass.
Yeah. And I will say, I know a big thing that's come across is everyone's just like, well, why don't you just select September 1st no matter what? I would say if you know you are not going to be there, like if you live in France and you know you're not coming here till October, by you picking September 1st, you're potentially stopping someone else from going eventually once that sells out, you know? So
we think
this is not definite, but you know, it is a possibility.
We think that we don't know for sure that if for the frequent fear multi-day tickets, if you select September 1st as your start day, is that going to go towards the sellout rate, or is it only single, like in the past, is it only single day tickets that go towards the sellout of a particular day, and you just can't select it on multi nights, or is it like maybe every 10th one is counted? We really don't know.
Yeah, we don't know the details. But I would say I think it would make a lot of sense for, regardless of how they math it out, that once there is a sellout, you cannot select that date with.
Oh, that one is 100%.
You know, so that's kind of what I'm. You know, if you know you're not going to be there, don't just select September 1st. Like if you know for a fact you have no chance of going, because again, you could help cause a sellout, and then other people will miss out that could be there.
Right. But if it's a possibility, obviously choose.
Of course.
Yeah, the furthest day out that's a possible that you could go, because you cannot use your pass until that day. But it doesn't, for what we understand, it doesn't matter if you don't use it that day. So if something happens and you don't go on September 1st and you end up going on that Saturday, it's not like you're going to be penalized. You just have to select your potential first day of your ticket.
So yeah, interesting thing. Also, I believe this is fully returning. I don't know if it was exactly like this, but with the ticket purchases, you do get 6 months of Peacock for free.
Yes. Yeah, that started last year, right?
Yes, but I think, I feel like there was some other stipulation of what it was last year. Or maybe I'm wrong.
I remember getting an email about free Peacock.
I know it was included for sure. Regardless, you get free Peacock. Go watch Chucky if you haven't yet on Peacock after you buy your ticket. So
another interesting thing, like in regards to everything that got dropped, all the extra tickets and experiences and whatnot, is that we still don't have scare actor dining. Like it's still not even on there, and part of me wonders if it's just not gonna be here this year, because if I remember correctly, last year scare actor dining dropped with the big drop with frequent fears and all those other options. So the fact that it's not here yet, like they could just be holding on it, but it makes me think that it just might not be here at all.
I don't think it was worth it last year, to be completely honest. We talked about it on the show. It was not good quality food. We had some good interactions with the scare actors, but what they're charging and where it is now, I don't think it worked last year. Yeah,
I know some people find value because they just, photo ops are very important to them. Getting to take pictures with characters and talk with characters is very important to them. If you're not someone who's absolutely obsessed with it, I don't think it was worth it.
Yeah. But maybe this year there's a potential, that it could be good, because there's rumors of it could be a Nikon year. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I know going back to like Monsters Cafe, I heard a lot more positive things about its years there. So
yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for it to be at the Minions Cafe this year.
Yeah, sure, right. That's gonna happen.
Right in the break room. I'm gonna sit by the lockers.
And with tickets, not only did we get details about tickets, something else was released with this, and that was something that had been a rumor for a little bit. And now fully confirmed, we are getting 4 additional nights of HHN this year. Something we discussed before the dates were announced. We're like, okay, Halloween's on a Tuesday, I believe, right? So are they going to go deeper? Are they going to send us back through the weekend? And they didn't even give us the Monday, and they just stopped on Halloween. And we're like, oh, not fully expected, but okay, makes sense. Well, now it's going until November 4th. So Halloween through, or is it Wednesday through? Yeah, so Halloween through that Saturday. The event's happening.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Which I think not fully justifies. I don't ever want to pay more, but for me, it makes it hurt a lot less knowing that there's 4 extra nights on that frequent fear plus.
Oh, yeah.
I know, like, if you get Rush of Fear, that is a big jump, but, like, you're still getting, like, it's like 20-something nights of the event, or maybe that's too many. I don't know. I didn't do the math. But, like, you're still getting a good value compared to a one-night ticket.
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. We get, I think with Plus, it's 40 nights. So when you look at, I think it was Dr. Strangwit who did the math on this. Oh, yeah, perfect. The price increase is so much lower when you do it like by day versus just what it was last year.
Yeah, if it's by day, I mean, just for Rush of Fear, it's 38% overall, but increase per day is 31%. But the other ones are significantly lower. So for our pass, we get Frequent Fear Plus with Express. It went up 17% overall, but per day it only went up 5%.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that nothing. Personally. Yeah,
that's just a normal year's inflation of ticket prices at that point.
Right.
Yeah, but even like Rush of Fear's 38%, it's only $10.65 per day more. That's still not bad considering how many days you get to go. I know a lot of people, that is a lot of money. I'm not saying it's not, but you get a lot of nights at the event.
Yeah. So
I'm excited.
Make it worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm excited for it to extend to November 4th because November 4th was my first ever, my HHN day in 28 when they extended it. That's the only reason I was able to go because I was, we kind of decided to go to Horror Nights a little late and we're like, oh, they added an extra night. Okay, we'll do that. And that ended up being my first day of HHN ever. So
wow, what a 5-year anniversary you're about to have.
Wow.
It really is.
Wow. I'm just glad. I mean, this is a selfish thing, but my wedding anniversary is on the 30th, and there is going to be an HHN almost every year that night. So I'm going to take this year, and we're going to take the night off and go out on a date.
All right.
There you go. All right. Hey, that's exciting. That's for me the biggest news because like Stranger Things was happening. Yeah. Like we'd known for a bit. It was everyone was pointing towards it, and it was happening. The 4 nights was kind of a newer rumor, and it was a little iffy at first. So seeing that confirmed, that's huge. I am stoked. November nights are the best nights. Hopefully we get some cold nights because of it. I love wearing a hoodie at HHN a couple times. It's the best.
I just can't believe Scare Actors found out the same time we did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how last minute I guess that decision was.
All right. So back to Stranger Things season 4. The big announcement, of course. Let's see what Universal has to say about it. You must band together with your squad. Still, no Scream. They're just staying squad. God. They just love saying squad now. If you want to resist Vecna's gruesome curse, take on the scariest season of Stranger Things yet. Like 11, now's your chance to stop him once and for all, as you have the ultimate showdown in Vecna's blood-red mindscape. Every ending has a beginning. They also say, guests will find themselves on the front line of Vecna's deadly attacks on the citizens of Hawkins while traveling through the iconic scenes, including the notorious Hawkins Lab, the enigmatic Creel House, and Vecna's chilling mind layer. So it's very, and maybe only, Vecna storyline involved.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, according to all this, we could be surprised for sure. It kind of looks like no Russia. Nothing on the art or anything of the press releases or this implies that Russia will be a part of it at all. Which, to be honest, like, I get because there's a lot to fit in that season to fit into a house. But it is kind of weird that 2 and 3 kind of ended off like, now we're in Russia. And then it's like, never mind. Sorry. We're not actually going there this house.
I would like to point out, though, since HHN 30, it has been a huge trend for HHN not to really just give you the details of what you're actually going to see and straight up even lie sometimes, to be honest. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, HHN 30, being the best example of that. So would I be surprised if I did see a couple of the bigger scenes from the Russia storyline or something in California? No, I would not be surprised if it didn't tie into the house really at all, but it's just there and you go through it.
Yeah, my argument to that is they have Demogorgon costumes already, and that's where we see the majority of the Demogorgons in season 4. So, like, I mean, one does come later, I think, right? Like in the big finale and whatever. But I don't know. They have those costumes. They're not gonna not use them. I feel like, at least for one scene, they could just do one scene with them just completely ripping somebody apart.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of need them too.
Yeah.
When you look at the character diversity, I mean, it's just a lot of kind of the heroes, the protagonists, and then Vecna, and then the armed guards or whatever. Like that's not
and something they've been promoting in the art and the merch, which are the bats.
Oh,
seems like
I'm excited for that.
It seems like demo bats are going to be they're going to I don't know how many scenes they're going to be in, but it looks like they are going to attempt at having them scare you. Which is
you ready for a pitch black room with bat sounds and a lot of sif?
Oh god,
yes. I love bats. Until fast forward to 2 months from now, and I'm screaming in your ear, I fucking hate this. Yeah, I'm excited about that particularly.
Of course, this also did have an announcement video, and it did tie into the last one we saw from The Last of Us. This time going to, I don't have the names on hand, the character who is in a school. They're on that same call. And then basically they get the tick-tocking of the clock that I guess we won't go too spoiler heavy, but season 4 is out. Go watch it. And you see Vecna, and then just like the last one, everything is okay at the end as their friend shows up and they just walk away, mystified by what the fuck they just experienced.
I will say, even though I'm not going to like the trend of just all of these videos being the same thing, I do think Stranger Things is the one property where it actually works really well. Like in a year where they weren't doing this weird, not the, these connected videos and stuff, like you could just kind of have this as the video and it would make sense, because not only is this what Vecna does, but after he's done, he doesn't just kill you right away. You kind of wake up from it. Like there's multiple times where he kind of puts someone in a nightmarish state and then wakes him up because the whole plan is to get him scared. So this is the one scenario where this actually kind of works perfectly with the property.
Yes, it definitely does.
But do I want to see this with every property going forward? Not really, but it is what it is.
I kind of like that they're tied together because I can't wait to meet the guy, the one who's all into the legend shit. Because we've met the two kind of skeptic friends now, so I kind of want to see what his is about. I mean, we can probably guess, but I'm curious how this all ties into the rumored icon.
Yeah, I when are we gonna go back to that live streamer or podcaster that we saw? When are we going to get more directly into that part? Is that going to come back, or is that just a one-time thing? Because once they really start bringing it full circle, if they do, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
For sure. I don't know. I don't expect anything that's rumored for Orlando, the rumored icon for Orlando, to be tied into these, at least for the main videos, because these are dual coast stuff. So I don't think he's really going to have any part of this, but I could see them doing another separate video just for Orlando, in a similar vein to the podcaster, except maybe just exclusive to Orlando, and maybe have the rumored icon do something from there. And he's oh, I was controlling it, from Orlando's coast, or something like that. To have him tie into it in some way, though they can't really have him in the main video, of course, because it's going to be representing both coasts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. And of course, not everything can be perfect, as we saw with the merch reveal merchandise we got for Stranger Things. Jess, would you please?
I'm so okay. The Vecna shirt. It looks like a ball sack.
Oh, I don't want to know what the blue thing is on it then.
I showed it to my coworkers and everyone agreed with me. And a lot of them, they know Stranger Things, but they're not like HHN fans, so they did not care. But they were like, yeah, it looks like a pair of nuts. Yeah. That's what I have to say about it. They really thought they did something with that blue eye on that red shirt.
It's again, just like Last of Us, it's a massive graphic on the front, like takes up the whole shirt. It's just the big bad of the property, kind of, and yeah. It's not
in
great.
The shape of the figure. Yep. Just like, and we got the font, the drippy font. Wow, actually, what you said last time, Duff, about that font makes this 10 times worse.
Oh, ballsack and cum? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, wow.
Jesus Christ.
But this one's bloody. Oh no.
Oh, get that checked out, Vecna.
Oh, and it's, hey, if you bought it, I'm not shitting on you, and if you designed it, I'm not shitting on you, but it's just not for me.
They sure like their big graphics, don't they? They just like to cover
off
up
center too, slightly to the right.
I mean, not all of them are straight, Jess. Some of them.
Oh my god, a little variety. I walked into that one. Yeah, and then the trucker hat. Why?
It's just a Stranger Things piece of merchandise, and it's
it's
not good.
No,
it's generic. I think they got that off of Amazon.
It was so cheap too. It was $20.
That hat is from Alibaba. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Absolutely. But hey, we got some Stranger Things merch. Everyone was like, "Where are the kids?" They will come with the event with the merchandise then, because think about it. Why would they pay to put their faces on something in July when they could just pay for the merch for only the run of the event? I feel like it makes
where it will
sense.
actually sell very well.
Yeah.
This merch is not selling out, by the way, like Last of Us did.
No.
And the shirt is black, not white. We're back to black shirts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like I'm not in Orlando currently, so I'm like, I just want to get all the preview merch because I haven't, previous years I didn't get the preview merch, and some shirts I was really mad about missing out on, like Legends. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to aim to get, all of them as much as I can. I'm like, the only way I won't get this, if it's a big close up of Vecna's face and that's the shirt. And then that's exactly what happened. So no, I'm not getting this.
It's a Vecno.
Yeah.
From us. That's not my joke. Aaron came up with that.
Aaron did come up with that, but it was a great tweet. Worked well. Loved it.
Yeah, thank you.
Just to tell you how bad, not just us either. There are other people. Like Jess, you and I went, and we had a shopping list, including everyone on this podcast. And I had several other people as well. We ended up buying 0. Everyone saw it and went, you know what? I'm good. I will pass.
That was my response. My response was, I'm good.
The amount of I don't need this shirt actually text we were receiving was just comical, and we talked to like a bunch of other like content creators who were there for videos or whatnot, and not a lot of people were buying it. A lot of like random park guests were like, whoa, Stranger Things, oh my god, like they missed the announcement. They had no idea what was going on, but they saw Vecna, so they thought it was cool, but there was not a line to purchase shirts.
Yeah, it was not the most loved piece of merch I've ever seen them release. I still love that you do these merch reveals. I think they're a lot of fun. But it's fine. I don't have to buy it. I just think it's cool to see stuff go up in June and July and shit. So yeah, keep doing it.
Bring on the Monsters merch.
But I will buy them if they look better. I bought the Monster merch. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're currently on eBay for $50. So
really, you can go get one for $30.
What?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're still fully stocked.
Hold up, if you guys want one of these shirts, you can pay me $40,
right?
and I'll go get it with an AP discount.
I'm gonna ruin Jess's hustle and tell you that we are online through Universal.
Shh.
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't actually
going to do normal price and a 5-star review. Like that's what
I'll throw in a 365 sticker for you. Moving on, please, from the ball sack merch.
Ooh.
All right, Jonathan, go ahead.
So I was not saying ooh to the last thing. I'm saying ooh to this thing.
I know.
And that is we are on our John Murdy Stranger Things House edition, in which John Murdy goes on Twitter and says a lot of stuff, especially with when announcements come out about houses and stuff for this year's event for Hollywood, and he said some news and information about this Stranger Things house on their coast. So we're just gonna jump right into it. This one was not from Twitter. This one was just from, I think, like the first article that popped up that announced Stranger Things before it was actually announced like through a video on Twitter yet. But basically he said, from the opening shots of Stranger Things 4 episode 1, we knew this was meant to be an experience at Halloween Horror Nights. And the reason I put this in here is that I would assume that this means that we're going to get the opening shots of Stranger Things 4 episode 1 in the house in some capacity. Because it makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. And like, did we not all think the same thing when we watched it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's a piece of information that we all kind of expected, but now we got, him saying it right there. I wonder if it'll be in both coasts or just Hollywood's. I'd assume both, because it was such an important scene in the show.
Well, we are going to get to a point that might make it. Let's go to it. I'm going to skip the next one just so we can get to this because it makes sense tying it in. He did say, creatively, the house is a collaboration between myself, our longtime art director, Chris Williams, along with Matthew Flood and the team at Universal Orlando. Same basic story, but there are unique scenes coast to coast, which I always think is cool.
Hell yeah.
So it sounds like, again, while there will be differences, as we expect there to be regardless, the way the scenes are laid out for the most part will probably be pretty similar.
Yeah, I'm kind of afraid. Like, it's a positive in the way that now that Universal Orlando is helping Hollywood, it's going to be hard for it to flop that, like, as hard as the last Stranger Things did on their coast. So that's a positive. But a potential negative for people like us who go to both coasts is that, like Weekend, when you already see sort of the same layout of a house on Orlando's coast that has a way bigger budget, because they do, and then go to Hollywood and see the same thing but with a lower budget, you're automatically gonna, the house isn't going to be as interesting because you kind of saw it in a different way in Orlando, and B, it's just always gonna be worse. Because if you're following the same story and have less budget, that's just what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't love this, but I get it.
Yeah, I mean, also I would say, like, I like it when they do, like when they collaborate but do it differently. But then we got the two separate legends collide, and that may just stop collaborating. Just make things completely separate again. Let's go back to that. Stop working together. How about that?
But what if this is like not like a Weekend kind of a collaboration? What if this is like, I feel like the Stranger Things ones from before were very different from each other, coast to coast. So if it's like that take on it, and maybe he's just giving each coast more credit than it's due on collaboration. Like maybe he's just being like Twitter PR, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is possible.
So
I hope that's right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, either way, I am excited to see Hollywood's take on it because I've seen the videos. But I'm excited either way. I had a great time last year at Hollywood, so
yeah, I'm sure we will again. This time, he confirmed, as everyone has known from what we've seen, this will be located in Soundstage 15. Just, official, out of the horse's mouth.
Yeah, I think we expected it. We've talked about it actually on the last episode about the things in there that you can be seen from the tram tour. So it's nice to get that confirmed. But I think this is one of the most interesting pieces of information he gave on his Twitter account. And he basically said, as the release states, you're following the storyline of Vecna's curse from season 4, encountering the iconic scenes and characters from the series along the way. Now, the way he says this kind of makes me think it's gonna be a kind of book report, which is kind of hard to do with this season because it kind of goes all over the place. But to me, it sounds like we're just gonna start, start here and then move here, just kind of scene for scene like the show does. And I don't know, that doesn't interest me that like it's gonna be cool. Like I'm excited for it. I think all the scenes work really well, and obviously like everyone's seen that season and is gone. That will make for a good Horror Nights house. But I always find it unique when IPs can do like use the property and do some different things with it or lay it out in a different way to make it a little more interesting. I'm not always a big fan of let's start from scene one and end at the last scene. Just in order of the property.
Especially for this season of Stranger Things. It is long. One, there's a shit ton of content. Two, has 3 different storylines. Trying to make that work in a book report fashion in a house sounds nearly impossible. And like, yeah, you're going to get to see the cool scenes and everything visually you want to see. The house itself, though, cohesively, worrisome. Very worrisome.
Yeah.
Personally, I am worried because the thing I'm the most excited to see outside of like the horror elements is really hope we get Argyle in the house, and I feel like he's not gonna be there if we're just focusing on, that's the California storyline. That's kind of like a side. I know that's 11, but I don't know. I really want to see him in the house. I think
it's gonna be Hawken focused for sure.
Yeah. It sucks, but I don't. I'm excited to see it regardless, but that's my one fear.
Hey, well, in a positive, he also says, wait till you see Vecna in the flesh, noting he will be an actor and not a puppet. Yes. That's exciting.
Come on. Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Can I say something else that's even more exciting? For both coasts, even. He only said this specifically about Hollywood, obviously, but I need this for both coasts. There's more of the cast featured as live performers now since they're older. Thank you. Thank you.
If I walk through
another fucking, what is it called? The wax? I can't think of the fucking name.
Madame Tussauds.
If I walk through another Madame Tussauds House of Stranger Things, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Come on, Duff. The cabin where they were all against the wall, looking scared up. That wasn't your favorite scene from 29?
No, my favorite scene is where they're like shutting it down, the upside down thing in season 2 and everything. Oh. The Demodogs, Hopper static. And 11, it's all static. The climax, static.
Well, that's okay. Vecna's going to make sure it's not static this year.
This is a rest in peace, Dustin Mannequin. He will be missed.
Oh my God. I hope he makes an appearance. I hope he's one of the kids in like the Rainbow Room or something. Just as like a little Easter egg.
Put him in the tribute store.
Yes.
Stranger Things years.
This is really exciting. Like not only for Orlando, like never had the rule of like because they're kids you can't have, because like Orlando was able to have the kids as actors like in season 1, but in Hollywood's I don't think they've like really ever used the kids like as actors. They've almost always been mannequins. I can't think of a scenario where they're like was a live actor except for I know Will was. They had Will one in.
They did Nancy and Steve, I think, but that's because they were older.
Right. I don't think they ever had like the little kids. Like I don't know. Yeah. So this is a big plus for Hollywood's coast because I mean that's a major difference from both of their houses.
For sure.
Very positive to look at it. What he said, that helps me ease my thoughts on Hollywood's. But of course, also mentioning that it's kind of just wording it like it might be more like a book report concerning. So at least I'm 50-50 instead of just like scared. Because a lot of times I'm just scared.
Yeah. I think it'll be good. This season, there's so much to pull from. I'm a little concerned that it's going to be mostly Vecna. I hope we get some more scares than just Vecna. But yeah, I think it'll be good.
All right, and there's one last thing that kind of falls under actually, this is all different news and rumors at this point. Moving on. There is news for Universal Orlando annual pass holders. One of them directly tying into one of our favorite HHN thing. Well, favorite. We'll see. But anyways, the Tribute Store annual pass preview will be on August 30th. So 2 days before the event starts from 11 a.m. to park close.
And I
Thank
believe that's
God.
also the rumored team member preview night. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet. Yeah. Which I would assume then team members are going in the morning. So we'll have videos probably in the morning if you're not a local. Yeah. If you want to see the Tribute Store. So
if I remember correctly, they didn't have previews last year. Like the first day you go to the Tribute Store was the day of the event.
Last year, yeah, the morning of the event was when it opened.
Mm-hmm. I like having the extra days. Yeah. That makes the opening night a lot less hectic because now you're not like running to the Tribute Store and then running to Stay and Scream, and everything like that. Like you got another day you have like the extra day to the Tribute Store. So the next day you can get there a little bit later and, not have to also like check out that because you're going to, if you're an HHN fan, like if you're like us, you're going to check it all out if it opens the day of. So having the extra day is nice.
And you don't have to carry your merch around all night, which is another plus. Go one of the nights before, after work, buy it, bring it home.
And I won't have to feel completely left out on team member preview night because I'll have done something HHN related that day. So there's that. And I will be in there till the park closes.
At 5?
Yes.
They're going to have to take Doug out kicking and screaming.
It wouldn't be the first time.
I know.
Handcuff himself like it's Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait for the Tribute Store. I hope it's not in Hollywood. I said what I said.
That's fine. We all agree.
It didn't say it in the release though. It didn't say where it was.
No, it didn't. No, so didn't. Well, let's just pretend we know what that means.
It's pretty suspicious, Universal. I'm just gonna say.
They also announced for annual pass holders a Universal annual pass with the Ghoulish giveaway. They're gonna give away the Lagoon Show Ghoulish.
Oh no, boy, did they give it away!
They gave it away. Yeah.
They did. Basically, it says, show your devotion to the horror with the free UAP pass holder exclusive collectible. Pickup it will be located, obviously, when the event starts, in Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida while supplies last. In Islands of Adventure, it will be the new UAP Lounge in Toon Lagoon, and in Universal Studios Florida, it will be in the Five and Dime. So,
yeah,
that's something.
I like.
Rumor has it it's a Vecna shirt.
Oh God,
no!
that they didn't sell,
but they made him look even more like a ball sack.
No, is it 2 Vecnas?
The eye is even bluer.
Oh, this is terrible.
I like free stuff, so I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
Can't wait to see what the free
item
item
it's
is.
not the Vecna shirt.
I'll pay them to.
I'll sell it for $50 on eBay. Duh, come on.
At that point, no one will be able to get it, so it will be rare.
Yeah, that's true. See, look at this. All right, moving on.
Yeah, let's get to something that technically happened before the Stranger Things 4 announcement, and it was early in the morning, the day of, in which a TV commercial got leaked. And by leaked, it just played on the TV, and it was essentially a promo for HHN. It had just some stock footage of past houses and stuff. At the end, it said Stranger Things and The Last of Us. So that's how like everyone the day of knew, Stranger Things is definitely coming today, even though it was kind of assumed already. But another interesting thing from that leak is that it did say 5 scare zones. And 5 houses, and I know that a current
5 houses. Oh no!
Sorry, no, sorry, 10 houses. So we got 5 houses got hell blocked. Sorry, guys. No, but it said 5 scare zones. That's the important part. And I know a current rumor going around, according to the last spec map as well, is that there will only be 4 scare zones. But not only does the website say 5 zones, but now on this new promo that also has Stranger Things on it, it says 5 zones. So I think that leads me to believe that it's still 5 zones and not 4.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Like,
know.
it could change.
The site also said the event ended on Halloween until Thursday.
That's true. That's true. They could change it.
Then they won't tell anybody at all.
No, that's definitely true. I don't know. I think right now, to me, it's leading that they're still
I think you're
thinking
right.
5.
I'm just being Universal's not going to tell us, so what's the fun?
No, they won't.
Yeah, I feel like it's small enough that if they logistically have to go with 4, they're not going to change the nomenclature that they have had before. Like, if it was a house, I think it would be a big difference. I think people would be upset.
I don't think they'd release an actual commercial, like already knowing that info, though, and not changing it. Like your website, one thing. Like releasing the actual commercials specifically saying, hey, 5 scare zones. Blow it up on your screen. 5 scare zones.
I don't know. Wires get crossed all the time, man. Like, I think that they could potentially just have taken that from the website, who made that, and they didn't actually know that logistically that they decided to pull it and make it 4. Like, I mean, stuff like that happens all the time. When it comes to a giant company like Universal.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely possible. I would hope it's not, but it is.
So that was I think the big thing from the leak that was interesting. Besides there just being a commercial that also leaking Stranger Things before it was announced. But now, we've been doing this for a couple episodes now, since there is actual construction going on Arcos and HHN Orlando. Not just Hollywood. We have construction now. We can talk about it. And Duff and Jess, you guys want to start off with saying what you guys saw in the park recently?
We saw trusses.
Yeah.
But now, some of those trusses have lights on them.
They do. And some
is
even have stuff hanging across them.
Ooh.
In Central Park specifically.
And some trusses have green mesh on them.
And some of them are at Lombard's.
Oh. It's back, baby.
That's the best news I've heard.
Yeah, if you want to find us at any night of 32, I can guarantee you 1, 2, 3, or 4 of us will be at Lombard's.
Buying a $13 double.
In a blinky cup with a cup sling. Duff, it's a beautiful day to be in HHN. Oh, is this our barn watch this year?
This is our barn watch, Lombard's watch.
Lombard watch?
Lombard watch. I like it. I'm sticking.
Yeah, that's our Lombard watch.
Yeah.
2023. Check our TikTok for updates. Definitely weekly.
Seriously though, I'm curious what's going to happen because it has a huge entrance truss and then has a almost like photo op looking truss further on. That's a pretty good size, and it just has a shit ton of trusses in general all around.
But the barn didn't actually come, guys. It can't be barn watch because that means we're going to be disappointed because there was literally never a barn.
The barn came. It just wasn't a fully completed barn.
The Dust Bowl had already bowled through the barn. Lombard watch 2023.
Okay. Fair.
But seriously, check out our TikTok at HHN365pod for updates.
Turns out to be something totally different.
I will fight.
It's not a bar.
Mike, shut your
I don't
mouth.
like your attitude right now.
Where's your positivity?
Okay.
He said okay.
The location's definitely more noticeable, from pictures I'm seeing, this year, though, compared to last year. It's very in your face that, hey, something is here. Something is in this location.
Well, because nobody knew it was back there except people who listen to us talk about it every week.
Actually, wait. We should stop talking about this, and they need to take that down. They're going to ruin it.
What if this area gets a really cool lighting package with all those little trusses, or maybe it's a black light bar, a little glowy bar. Wow, what a terrible time to have dyed my hair. Actually, what a great time to have dyed my hair. I take it back. But we'll be keeping y'all updated with the bar watch.
Lombard watch.
Lombard watch.
Oh, and Jess, I know you mentioned it that there's stuff like hanging in Central Park, like between like the trusses and whatnot. And I know a lot of people right now are currently saying, and like I'm looking at it, me as well, like it kind of looks like vines. And for a rumored jungle zone, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but also it just looks like cables. But that's me being optimistic because jungle. Yep. It could totally be vines. I can absolutely see that, and it goes from truss to truss across, which means we could be getting some cool, obviously not pumpkins, but you know, the return of that kind of a lighting package in Central Park. I'm into that. There's my silver lining for jungle.
There we go. That's some positive thing.
I said something nice.
Wow, look at you.
Mm-hmm. Moving on, please.
We have a facade update, which I think this is our first one of the year.
Yeah. I think
yeah,
so.
like actual building facade. Yeah. For the rumored Devil Went Down to Georgia / Crossroads inspired house. There's a big giant structure being built there in the Sprung tent. It is massive. And Legacy, Insider Legacy went on Discord and basically said that when it's all done and finished, it's going to be something called a juke joint, which is apparently a 1930s to 1950s restaurant / jazz music venue in a dilapidated building, which I find really interesting.
That'll be cool.
I'm about it.
That's a good start to this, this kind of house.
Yeah, I'm into it. I can kind of see that from the pictures we've seen.
It's definitely far along. Like you can you can see like a sign starting to be put on the top. There's lots of structures that can easily be taken out. Like I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this one because I feel like we're going to see significant progress in the coming weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be sure to go to Animal Actors every time I go for update videos. So not to maybe video it because we don't want to do a backstage, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
maybe
for
mention
sure.
it. But yeah, very excited.
Definitely.
And moving away from Orlando construction, there's a big piece of news regarding Hollywood's event. And basically, Actions Horizons, which is a stunt company that has done things in the past, such as the Bourne Stuntacular and, famously, the Waterworld show, is auditioning for a new limited-time seasonal show that will run through October. And lots of people are thinking this can be related to HHN Hollywood, and it could be their show of this year. Instead of Jabberwockies, it would be whatever this ends up being.
Yay, something different. I think.
I mean, that's always a positive.
Maybe. Please?
They do good stunt work. Like, I enjoy, I don't enjoy Bourne personally, but I think the stunt work is very well done.
Yeah,
so
it's great. So yeah. I mean, it sounds very Nightmare Fuel-esque and kind of approach from the very little we know. So, yay!
Yeah, it's better than probably. I've never seen them, and I guess I never will again. But it's probably better than Jabberwockies.
Hey, America's Best Dance Crew, show some respect.
All right, it is time. Jonathan, there is more John Marty stuff where he doesn't talk about Stranger Things. The first one I know you're excited about, I think.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Well, he thinks Chucky is getting a more formal announcement later. So there you go. You get that going for you.
That's exciting. I want him to have... I know a lot of people would hate this. And to be honest, it's so fair to hate it, but I kind of want to see what they do in this Screams, in this whatever you call it, this legend format where all the things are connecting. I kind of want to see what you do with the Chucky one. Like, I think that sounds kind of fun with how you how do you do the and then what it's like Chucky walking towards you or something. Like, I'd like to see a video that's implemented that has him in it, just like a high quality one. The one we got in 31, like at the end of 31, was very like him just sitting there and going like, "I'm coming to HHN, guys,
and catch my show on Sci-Fi."
So, see you later. I really would like a actual announcement video, considering the fact that he's definitely like, even though he's not a Stranger Things and Last of Us, he's still a headliner in the sense of like he is the classic horror icon that's coming this year. So I think it'd be fun. A lot of people will be mad because they want new things, but I think I'd like to see the production quality of that video.
What if he's the guy with that's the lore of HHN? Like he's that video, the third one. We've all been waiting for something new, and it's Chucky, and he just fucking guts the kid.
I'm the legend of HHN. I'm there every year.
I'm Charles or Chili Lee Ray. What was the food? Yeah.
You've taken photos with me. I've talked shit to you. You've eaten me before. But now.
Charles.
I was on merch with icons for some reason.
I am the icon, bitch. Who's this odd fellow? You're welcome.
Gender fluid.
I'm not a monster.
You just had to throw that in there. Can't wait for the Chucky announcement.
It does make sense. They are giving a formal one later. It does make sense why he's not on the website yet.
Closing night of the last year wasn't formal.
It's a winter formal.
You want him to wear a suit and tie, like a cummerbund? Like, what is formal Chucky?
I'd love to have him wear a suit and tie. Actually, that'd be quite funny.
He would just look like Billy the puppet from Saw. Who, by the way, did you know he has sparkly shoes? That puppet. I saw it when I was in LA last time, like the actual puppet.
Never caught on that. No.
Little sparkly ruby slippers. Jonathan, you want to talk about Lord Spookula?
See, this, I'm going to read it for you. I don't know what it means, but I'm going to read it for you. John Murdy tweeted this, and I don't know what it means, but here we go. P.S. Lord Spookula is dead. I warned him not to be posting all that stuff, but he didn't listen. He just had to be the first. Tragic nail gun accident, I hear. It's a pity. He had such cool merch.
Did AI write that?
I think I'm having a stroke.
No, Mike, I think we're having a collective podcast stroke. What does that mean?
Tragic nail gun accident.
Did Megan write that? Like, I'm actually confused at this point.
I'm so confused what this means.
I thought
Jonathan, can you read that one more time?
No.
Please don't.
I don't think it'll get any clearer.
So, I Googled this, all right?
No.
The only thing that comes up is two separate Count Spookulas. One is Count Spookula, the half-blind prince, which is a cat that is half-blind.
Oh.
Adorable. Very cute.
But it's Lord Spookula.
I love Count Spookula. There's another Count Spookula as well, who is a horror host on YouTube.
Oh.
Okay.
But is far from active and has 300 followers on Instagram.
No.
But it's Lord Spookula.
Yeah, and it's also not Lord Spookula. Is this a very deep cut for HHN Hollywood? Anyone very deep? Because I can't find anything on it when I look.
West Coast people, please, because who is that?
It's Lord Spookula, of course.
Our Lord Spookula.
He died of a tragic nail gun accident.
But so here's the thing, that he had such cool merch. So for me, that makes me think of the Celebrities Terror Tram that was rumored on the last spec map, or the last two. But who?
Okay. So jokes aside, I feel like he is probably the vlogger podcaster. He's one of those characters.
Yeah,
that's what I think. If I had to guess right now.
Just why would he have merch?
Because podcasters and YouTubers sell merch. We sell merch.
Oh, true.
Yeah, Jonathan, what the hell?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking like at the event. Like, why would he have merch at? But no, like just separately. Then
if I can buy fucking Lord Spookula merch, I'm gonna be so hype.
This has got to tie it. Maybe this is part of that shoot that they had.
Yes,
last week. It's Mike still laughing in the background.
Hear me out. Instead of Mickey ears, you get a little nail gun hat for the event, and there's just a nail gun sticking out of your head. Then just, Lord Spooky.
Oh my god! I can't wait to meet this guy together. All of us.
Is this the Hollywood icon? This is
the new Hollywood Harry. It's Lord Spookula.
Hollywood Harry, Lord Spooky. I'm sorry. Is that not the laziest name they could have came up?
It's gotta be the guy that's mocking like a vlogger or something. It's gotta be.
Has to be.
Okay, that would be really funny. Just because I can't wait to watch the vloggers go through the terror jam. Oh, the opening weekend videos are gonna be so good.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to see
until we walk through filming.
I need to know so much backstory about Lord Spookula when we get him.
He needs to have a full house. Like,
I want to know his parents' name, his middle name, what county his grandma was born in Iowa.
What's above a lord? Because that's what his dad would have been.
Sultan.
Yeah. A duke.
Sultan.
Kick-ass duke.
Sultan Spookula. I'm sorry. Please go. Someone move on.
It would be Duke Spookula.
The Duke of Spook. Yes.
Yeah.
And the Duchess of Spook. That's my father, Mr. Spookula.
Okay. All right. Let me try to get us a little bit on track.
On track.
The next segment, the next tweet was response is also relating to our favorite Mr. Charles Lee Ray. Someone asked, "Hey, will you cover things from Chucky at Midsummer Scream?" And he said, "No, he's trying to kill me and everyone else." Now, that can be interpreted. Well, the first thing interpret is no Chucky at Midsummer Scream, which I think we all kind of figured. IPs besides monsters usually aren't at that event. But the way he also words is like, no, he's trying to kill me and everyone else. Like every time he's referred to Chucky in all of these tweets, he's been very like, oh, Chucky is going to kill me. Like Chucky's coming after me. Like, and almost like this isn't like a new thing. He's been saying this a lot. Like, could whatever, the house is, like, could it have some tie to like Chucky's trying to kill the people who made the house or something like that? Or like there's, self-referential things, because he's been
that sounds very
saying
Chucky.
This stuff for a while.
That sounds like they created like, an attraction for him at Horror Nights. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't want to be here.
Yeah, it's on my terms, bitch. Like, it's Chucky taking over. That would actually be kind of cool.
I told you I want green wallpaper.
Oh my god. What's that thing that celebrities submit before they do like a show? Their like list of demands. His list of
first demand, no Lord Spookula. I do not share a stage with him.
What if that's who killed him? It's Charles.
Oh.
Chuck.
I know my way around a nail gun.
He's like Rambo with the fucking... All right, moving on, please.
Are we getting soundtracks from Slash this year? He says, So,
yeah.
Yeah, probably, I guess. Yep. All right.
Which I wonder how that's going to fit in the, the rumored Universal Monsters, Paris house. I wonder how Slash works there. To be fair, I think Slash, I don't know if, like, this is my opinion. I think Slash worked pretty well for Bride of Frankenstein. Like I wasn't expecting something like his music to work for that type of story, but it did for me, especially the intro. So I don't know. It could work here. I didn't really care for Legends soundtrack at all, but I could see it surprising me with this rumored house.
And now Slash's new single, Fromage.
I I know this is not what's going to happen, but deep down in my heart, I want Slash to just do a cover of the Phantom of the Opera, like the song, the Phantom of the Opera. And Mike, how cool would that be though? Like you're going through and it's like,
that would be really cool.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a selfish thing. I know it's not going to be that. It would be cool if it had like I don't know, like a little undertone of that.
Yeah. That would be cool, but I doubt it will happen. But it'd be very cool.
Who does that? Weber? That's Andrew Lloyd Webber, right?
It is.
Yeah. So I don't know. He has no show on Broadway for the first time in like 30 years. Maybe he needs the money.
All right, John, Marty, we're done with you. Have a good night. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Moving on, let's knock through some local haunts real quick to the Central Florida area, starting with Sir Henry's. They had a trail announcement for Wicked Waters. The description is, on the outskirts of town, Griselda the Witch haunts a desolate swamp. Desperate for more control, she searches for a powerful lost staff. After her dark ritual, ancient being... I don't know what I was trying to say there. Ancient beings of death now roam freely. Will you survive the witching season?
It definitely ties in with their overall theme this year, that they're being witches and stuff like that. So that's
Spirits of Coven the event.
Maybe they pull it off better.
The only thing I can think of right now is Sir Henry below or above Duke Spook.
All right, moving to Howl-O-Scream Orlando.
They're acquaintances.
Genuinely, I can't. That's all I was thinking
about. So seriously though, this Howl-O-Scream Orlando announcement is hot, if you will. The new zone is called Bloodlight District. The description is, those who walk the streets of this borough will tempt your deepest desires. You can fight their beckoning, but you will not win. Do not be fooled by their beauty and lust. Stay too long, and you'll be forever bound by blood. So it's like literally about the temptation of being in a red light district. Obviously in a spooky version, but
this is the weirdest scare zone that I think has ever happened.
Is it so? Are they having this and Cargo Carnage? Because that was a sexy zone too. And
this event, man.
That's a lot of sex.
Who needs Viagra when you could just go to Howl-O-Scream Orlando?
Right?
Oh my god.
I'm kind of like here.
The Siren Show
and Moaning
Tense.
Yeah.
Like Moaning Tense aside, just for the Siren Show and this Bloodlight, you can catch me at Howl-O-Scream this year.
Well, the moaning's going to be real because those tents are where these escorts are going to take you when they're done.
So now if that zone ties into the house with the Moaning Tents, I could understand.
Yeah.
Like a post-apocalyptic sex work kind of thing. I'm sorry, I'm on a roll tonight.
I won't stay too long. I'm a 1 minute man.
I will say they announced. Oh my god,
Jonathan, the show, you're done. There's no more. We're done.
They announced both Blood Beckoning and this zone like around the same time. I think even on the website, it's like they're pretty close together.
So this replaces Cargo Carnage, probably.
Yeah.
What's Blood Beckoning? Is that the Moaning Tent house?
Yes, that is.
I never cared to learn its name.
So this probably replaces Cargo Carnage, and this is our hot section of the park still.
But who will I tell? I mean, I could tell them they're attractive.
I mean,
actually.
No, I'm pretty sure if you pay them, they tell you you're attractive, and then, you know.
Well, no, last year I was so like overwhelmed the first time we walked through the zone. I was just giving compliments out. It's like, oh wow, you're so attractive. Cargo Carnage. Okay, so ladies of the night or people of the night. We'll see.
All right, we have voicemails.
I'm so sorry to whoever left voicemails that that's the segue into this.
Hey, if you are Team Minutemen, please leave us a voicemail and let us know at 40.
Hey, you'll survive the Bud Light District.
If you have ED, you have no issue going through this zone. Okay. You're good. You'll make it.
Oh my god. Oh, remember when you said I was the supervision like a month ago? I think Jonathan left.
I'm here technically.
No,
my mind isn't.
He knows more about Mike than he ever wanted to.
I can't. Oh, all right.
It was a joke.
I swear, it's 5. It's 5.
We're gonna have a video from the Bloodlight District in a couple months referencing this.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the TikTok.
Can we seriously make like an ED medication like infomercial, but it's just Bloodlight District instead of medication?
Absolutely, and I would love to. I will do the voiceover for that. Oh. Like I will. There is the Bloodlight District. Side effects, maybe. All right, voicemails, please.
Hey guys, this is El Chiro Guapo. Just finished listening to your latest podcast, so I'm hoping I got you guys in the right time to be in the next episode. I just remembered we were talking about Oddfellow in the last podcast, and something just went off my mind. 2 years ago at 2021, Icons Captured, we saw all the artifacts of each icon. So if Dr. Oddfellow actually becomes an icon this year, I think that you can actually play that into the lore, because what if Oddfellow helped capture all the icons into Fear's box, which would be the reason why you never saw his totem inside the house. So, I don't know. I think it would be a cool little fun way to think about it. I'd be really excited to see if we can get a new icon, and that played really well into it. That played well into the rivalry between Oddfellow and Jack. So if Jack ever gets out from the box, maybe potentially in the future, maybe we can see a Jack versus Oddfellow house. That'd be cool. Icon versus icon, like we had that HHN Icons Captured. That'd be pretty cool to see again. Well, that's just my take. Maybe you guys can look at it, think about it, dissect it, then what you guys think. I think that'd be pretty cool to think about. That the reason why all the icons are in Sears' box is because Oddfellow put them there. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Y'all have a good day. Bye.
El Churro Guapo, great to hear from you again. Thanks for always leaving us voicemails. We truly appreciate it. And I think the outcome you had with your idea is exactly what Jack wants. Jack's like whole original purpose is I want to fuck Oddfellow up. So, yeah. I think Jack appreciates that for sure. As far as what I think, I have no idea. Like, you could go so many ways with Oddfellow because there's just so little backstory and lore. They could take any direction they want.
They really can. I mean, they could even, if they wanted to, retcon things as well. Like, they can. This character is, he has some things, but he's kind of a blank slate in terms of how they actually want to interpret it and what they want to do to really make him, an icon. Like, what are they going to do to really make him stand out from the other characters and, stand out from Jack? So I'm really excited about everything regarding to, this rumored icon. And hopefully, hopefully he has like a big presence. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I agree. I think him having a clean slate, we haven't had an icon that, we've known about that has had a clean slate. All the icons, we know their backstories. They've been tied in one way or another. So for this to be something that, we're familiar with, but they can start from not square one, because we know Jack, but we don't know Oddfellow. And I think that that's the most exciting part. And then this can bring Jack back into it, maybe for 35 or something, or 40 or whatever big anniversary year they're planning. Yeah, thank you. On to the next one.
What up, homies? Oh shit, we got an announcement.
Oh my God.
Stranger Things, it's coming. Who the fuck's excited? I know I'm motherfucking excited. Hey, man, listen. I told y'all it was gonna be mid-July until we got an announcement. Here it is, mid-July. Get the announcement. Super pumped. We got 3 super solid IPs so far. The Last of Us, Chucky, Stranger Things, all those are gonna be dope as shit. You know they're gonna be dope as shit. We still got something else coming up. We still got Monsters. Monsters is going to be dope as shit. So, yo, this is turning out to be a great motherfucking year. I'm already calling it, you know, goddamn, guys. Goddamn, I'm speechless, you know. And then on top of it, I'm really hyped for this Bigfoot house. Coming from the Pacific Northwest, we need this Bigfoot, you know what I mean? So, hey, let's get it. By the way, I'm cancer-free. I just beat cancer. I found that shit out last week.
Oh my God.
Yo, let's motherfucking get it. Love y'all like I love y'all. Always getting it.
No,
Hey.
we love you like we love you.
Let's go. Beat cancer's ass. I love it. Congratulations.
Hell yeah, man.
Dude.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, we got to see you at HHN. We got some swag for you. One for all your voicemails, but also for that. So
yeah,
Yeah.
Most importantly, hell yeah! I don't even remember what you said now. That was amazing. I'm so happy.
No, that's awesome. But no, the lineup is solid so far, and yes, monsters to come. That gets announced. I know we say this every year, but I'm so hyped for this year. So hyped.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, like you said, I'm always hyped regardless. But like the IPs. Chucky is okay for me, but the other IPs I'm super excited about. And you know, it's not every year that like 3 IPs I'm like, oh shit. No, that's the case this year. Assuming, you know, Monsters is what we think it is, but you know, it is.
It feels a lot different too, because last year, I mean, after Monsters that we all were kind of expecting, you know, you had Halloween, and then you had Blumhouse like in a row, and it's like I wasn't super excited for any of those. So to have this year where, like, even if we're excluding Chucky, we have Last of Us and then Stranger Things right after the other, like, that's a humongous 1-2 punch that definitely feels a lot more impactful than last year's announcement season did.
Definitely. All right. Sorry. I didn't know if anybody else wanted to talk. Our last voicemail.
Hello. So, me personally, I'm from the West Coast, so my Horror Nights event is in Hollywood. And I just think that, you know, it's good that it's in Stitch 15. You know, they can really emphasize on the scenes and make huge scenes and things like that. But one thing I don't want to happen is I don't want them to focus too much on what the scenes look like, and not the actual efficiency of the actual house. You know, too many black walls were in the last few Stranger Things houses, so I don't want it to be black wall, huge scene, black wall, huge scene. Like, I want it to be an actual Horror Nights house, like something that we can walk through and actually, you know, be like, oh damn, what's around that corner? I don't want it to just be a recap of what happened in Stranger Things, because we already know.
Yeah, man. It seems to be a trend that, you know, black walls are they're still going to be around, but they're getting less and less frequent over at Hollywood. So hopefully that continues to get better.
Mm-hmm. And then also what you said kind of tied into exactly what we were saying earlier, where like the book report of Stranger Things season 4 just kind of wouldn't do it for us, you know? Like, in general, it's not always my favorite, but like specifically for this property, like it just wouldn't work. So yeah, I'm with you there as well, for sure. And
I hope they go a more creative route with it, just in terms of the way they tell the story. But, you know, we'll see. I really do think the way the season is, like, if you're just thinking of that main poster that's shared everywhere, the one where there's different places and they're all connected by the upside down. Like, there are so many fun ways you could just enter a portal and then enter a whole nother part of the world because it was a magic upside down portal. And so it makes sense for a transition, you know? Like there are so many ways they could use the Upside Down to make to make the whole giant story connected, in order to do some fun things and encounter locations that you want to see. So I hope they play around with that, but as of right now, it is kind of looking, at least according to the press, that it's going to be kind of a, book report type story, which, isn't something that's exciting me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your call, man. Overall, I'm super excited for Hollywood, though. For the first time ever, I have actually booked my trip. As a podcast, we are all going together to Hollywood, so I actually get to experience the Hollywood event for the very first time.
I cannot wait for you to finally experience it and see what you think about the difference of, because regardless of whatever the quality is, there's just differences in vibe and how everything feels. So
yeah,
I'm just curious what you think about strictly that part.
Yeah,
very different.
Definitely.
I think you're really gonna have a good time. It's an experience. Like even going my first time during the pandemic year in 2021, where it wasn't nearly as good as the year following it. It still was special, even with all the repeats and stuff like that. It is a really fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we're all going now in a time that it looks like Hollywood is like, all right, ramping it back up again.
Mm-hmm.
Last year's event was incredible. So I assume that following years are just going to try to get better and better and put more money in the facades and having less black walls and this and that. It's a great time to be going to Hollywood.
Yeah. Now, if we could only get a toxic tunnel back.
Mike, my dream, honestly, toxic
tunnel.
But also, Mike, you get to go to Knott's 50th.
Hey.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I get to experience Knott's for the very first time on their 50th anniversary.
You get to see why I've been obsessed with it for almost a year now.
This trip is going to be amazing.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, a lot of Hollywood content to follow. It's definitely.
This is not our work retreat. This is our work. I like our work. Our work's good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Hey. But yeah, keep an eye out for a lot of Hollywood content coming in the fall because we'll be there.
Yep, absolutely. And I think that's all we had for voicemails, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right, Mike, on you.
All right. Well, that if you made it through this show, leave us a voicemail and let us know if you're a Minuteman or not at 407-906-4134. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at HHN365 and at TikTok at HHN365pod. We have an amazing Discord, link is in the description, and check out our merch shop at hhn365.com. Always leave us a review if you choose to at Spotify and iTunes, and we'll see you in the streets.